What's up everyone, this is Nakat and welcome to my guide for the newest character in MultiVersus, Gizmo from Gremlins. I'm going to give you some tips and tricks to help you get started singing and dancing all over your opponents. We won't look at all of Gizmo's moves, but we will look at the main strategies you should be using to make the most of your new Mogwai friend. So grab some popcorn, sit back, and let's take a look at Gizmo in MultiVersus. Gizmo is a support class character. He relies on setting up his assortment of toys and trinkets to create traps and control space on the map. If he gets enough time to set up, he can create some devastating combos. Gizmo's allies should be aware of his toys and be ready to help him set up his big damage. Gizmo's enemies should be ready to rush him down to prevent him from getting his tools on the map. Let's take a look at some of his moves, starting with his normal attacks. Gizmo's air and ground neutral attacks charge his bow and arrow. He can move, jump, and aim while he charges, and if Gizmo charges long enough, his arrow is lit on fire, giving him the ability to ignite any enemy he hits. If he hits an enemy with a fire arrow, he immediately replenishes one arrow. Gizmo can also dodge cancel his charge to store the charge for later. See the little flame arrow on his back? This means that the next time he uses his neutral attack, he doesn't need to charge up at all. A quick tap of the button will fire an arrow at full strength. Gizmo's ground up attack swings his popcorn container and throws some popcorn in the air. Once the popcorn is out, Gizmo and his ally can hit it to reposition it. Enemies will take a bit of damage if the popcorn hits them, but they also have the ability to reposition the popcorn with melee attacks. The popcorn itself doesn't deal any knockback, but Gizmo's allies can ignite the popcorn to create a small explosion that damages and knocks back enemies. Here's where it gets interesting. Gizmo can hit his popcorn with an arrow to create a strong cone-shaped blast, damaging and knocking back all enemies hit by it. If Gizmo hits the popcorn with a fire arrow, the explosion is much larger and ignites all enemies hit. Gizmo's arrows and popcorn are core to his playstyle as a ranged support. Gizmo can use quick arrows to apply pressure from a distance, but if you ever find yourself away from the action, take the opportunity to set up your toys. Get popcorn on the map and get your next arrow fully charged. When you're ready to get back into the fight, you'll have some powerful tools at your disposal. Now let's take a look at some of Gizmo's special moves, starting with his neutral special. Hold the button on the ground to spawn music notes all around Gizmo, or hold it in the air to aim the notes in the direction Gizmo is facing. Gizmo can't pick up his notes, but allies can pick up music notes to gain charges of the music buff. While allies have charges of music, their dodges spawn a large music note, giving them a hitbox they can use while dodging. Enemies can also pick up music notes, taking a bit of damage and stacking a music debuff. If an enemy fully stacks the music debuff, they are briefly silenced, locking them out of using any ability cooldowns until the effect ends. You might be wondering, how am I supposed to fully stack this debuff on enemies? Can't they just ignore the music notes? Well, let me show you something neat. That's right. Both Gizmo's arrows and his popcorn can be used to collect music notes and send them flying at allies and enemies. In fact, music notes that have been sucked up by another attack have a little bit of knockback when they hit enemies. So, if you're struggling against mages using lots of cooldowns, send some music at them to shut them up. Now let's put this all together and look at Gizmo's up special. Gizmo leaps into the air and latches onto any fighter he hits. If he latches onto an enemy, he bounces off them with a powerful knockback. If he latches onto an ally, he follows them around for a brief period. While attached to an ally, Gizmo can't be hit by attacks, but he will take a portion of the damage taken by his ally. In this state, Gizmo can still use his strongest attacks, but he doesn't leave himself vulnerable to aggressive enemies. When Gizmo detaches from his ally, he can't reattach for a brief period, shown by this little backpack icon on the ally he attached to. Try to attach to your ally whenever the option is available to you. You can use your time while attached to throw projectiles that aid your ally's offense. Or you can use it as a free opportunity to set up your combos without getting interrupted. Either way, it's a very powerful position to be in. And that's going to be it for this MultiVersus Fighter showcase, showcasing Gizmo to you guys. I hope you really enjoyed this thoroughly. This was a blast to be a part of. And of course, let's get hype. Gizmo is officially joining the roster for MultiVersus. And of course, guys, be sure to check him out as soon as he's released to the public. And of course, have a blast. Thanks for watching.